You are not less than. You do matter. Who's holding you back? You or everybody else? Let's talk about it. Come on. Alright, good morning folks. In this video, I'm talking about the fear of failure and how we as alcoholics and addicts hold ourselves back because we felt so long that we weren't worth anything and that our opinions didn't matter because we were simply high or drunk. That's not true, folks. What is the number one thing in your life that holds you back? Is it you or everything else around you? For me, guys, I was an active alcoholic for 23 plus years. And a lot of that was fed by my fear of failure and how that plays into every single thing in my life. I'm here to tell you just a couple key points that can help you move above and beyond that fear of failure and that feeling of less worth than anyone that you see, and how to overcome those things in order to make your life a little bit better and to be able to be successful in your sobriety and in your life in general. Number one, we have the innate ability to talk to ourselves in such a fashion that we are our worst critic. So who do you think would be our best coach? That's right, ourselves. And I'm using inclusive language in this video because this is not only about me today, this is about you as well. Think about some times in your sobriety or just in your life in general. Who holds you back from the things you want to accomplish? I already said that we are our worst critics, so we can be our best coaches, right? In my life, really, in my career in the Army, in my career as a customer service professional, whatever you want to call it, I can be my own worst enemy. I can set myself up for failure on a multitude of scales, and I can do one of two things. I can either accept that failure and be set back for the rest of my time here, you know, in that profession or in that career path or whatever it is, or I can accept the failure for what it is, learn from it, and move on. Which brings me to, we as alcoholics and addicts have an ability to talk to ourselves in a way that no one else will, like I said in the beginning, right? If I fail, I'm gonna go through all the resources in my head that tell me how I jacked it up or how I will continue to fail in that in the future. So why even bother doing it in the first place? That is my negative self-talk, and a lot of you out there can relate to that because negative self-talk is one of the biggest, or rather one of the most impactful thought patterns that we as humans in our innate nature possess. Optimism and pessimism, if you will. Positive feedback and positive criticism is hard to obtain through ourselves. So there's something we can do about that, folks. Anyone got an idea of what that is? Drop your comment below if you think you do. So there's something we can do about that, right? We can reinforce to ourselves that we have the ability to overcome this failure and we have the ability to accept the experience for what it is. Or we can bounce it off of somebody and get their opinion on what they think about the situation. I've already told you in the past, a couple past videos, that that is one of the best ways to find out if what you're thinking is a reality versus not a delusion, so to speak, but something that is not true in your head. And you know, like I said, we as humans have the ability to make ourselves believe whatever we want to believe and to reinforce those negative self-biases and make ourselves feel like we can't achieve something. In sobriety, it's a little bit more challenging only because, you know, for me anyway, you know, having a fear of failure my entire drinking career doesn't help me in my life of living sober because I have to fight that even harder, that second nature to fall back on, I'm not enough. So if I bounce it off of somebody and I run across to them and I ask for some of their feedback and I ask for maybe a few things they think are a strength of mine, I can apply those to whatever I'm doing and make it a little bit better and be able to learn from that experience of failure and move along and do it different the next time in order to make it a different outcome. That's just something that I do in order to be a little bit better at what it is I do on a normal basis. For instance, at work, I forgot the newspaper 4 days in a row, and my boss kept telling me it's right outside, it's in this little box. And she brought the papers in and everything else. And on this last day of the week, I was like, oh, I can't fail this, but I probably will fail it. I'll probably forget it anyway, so why do I care? And you know, I could have either accepted that, and this is like a stupid example, but it is an example. I could have accepted that for what it is, or I could have done what I did in the first place, which is evaluate it in my mind. You can do this. It's just a freaking newspaper. It's simply just going outside to find where it's located and bringing it in. You don't have to accept the fact that you didn't know about it or didn't remember about it the last couple days. You can do it right this time. So that's exactly what I did, folks. And I was able to use that self-talk in a positive manner, go and achieve what I needed to achieve, and move on with my day happy as a free bird. I apply those same lessons in larger scale examples of failure in order to make things better the next time. Negative self-talk and positive self-talk, right? I've mentioned those a few times already. Negative self-talk is something that is our second nature, and I've already mentioned that just a second ago, but that optimistic and positive talk is a way to pump ourselves up and to get motivated and to be able to see a different direction than what our negative thought patterns drive us to believe. Anyway, that falls into resilience, but you yourself can develop the skill of positive self-talk and be able to reshape those negative thought patterns in order to improve your life, and that will help you get over the fear of failure as well. Don't be afraid to get someone else's opinion about your strengths and weaknesses. We all, every one of us, you out there, me, we all have weaknesses that we ourselves can exploit those weaknesses, and so can anyone else. But if we get someone's opinion on where we lack and what our strengths are, we're able to balance out what it is we can achieve at this moment in order to improve in our weak areas of maybe character or some of the skills that we might not possess at the time. We can get someone else's opinion on our strengths and weaknesses in order to see if what we're thinking is actual fact or if it's just something we can improve on and work on in the first place. If you're with me, drop a like so that way we can keep this video in circulation. If I lost you completely, put that in the comments below also, because I'm actually just trying to help you by helping me. Another one of the things that leads me to having a fear of failure is comparing myself to other people and comparing myself to what it is someone else is achieving. I talk about my donut all the time, right? I can control everything within my little donut. I cannot control anything else outside of that. I can control the way I feel about things as well. Where I find myself lacking, and you might also, is comparing myself to other people's successes and comparing myself to where this person is in the same thing that I'm doing versus where I'm at. YouTube, for instance, I find myself comparing myself all the time to other channels and to other people in sobriety recovery channels and things of that nature, and I get discouraged and I get disappointed, and then I question myself, like, why the hell am I doing this in the first place? Where the fear of failure for me, and that comparison impacts that fear of failure to a degree that, I'm either gonna quit or I'm either going to direct my attentions in the wrong places and give you something that is totally irrelevant and has no purpose in your life at all. That is my little example of that. But do you find yourself comparing yourself to other people in either your career field, maybe they're a parent, maybe someone else's recovery, whatever it is? If you find yourself comparing yourself to a lot of yourselves, comparing yourself to other folks, then inherently you're going to be set up for failure anyway. At least that is the case for me. I try to eliminate that comparison, and I try to eliminate saying I'm not as good as this person or I'm not doing what this person is doing, and I worry about my little donut and my donut alone. I don't know what your Krispy Kreme looks like. You can drop that in the comments. Also, We are almost done, folks, and I think I jacked this up enough, but I hope you got something from it. If so, and you've gotten a little bit of value out of this video so far, hit that like button so we can keep this in circulation. Active alcoholic and in early sobriety, I never believed, and this is all the way from my childhood as well, I never believed that I was enough. I never believed that I had the value enough to be successful, or even the deservance of being successful in anything I do. I always thought of myself as less of a person and less of a man, and therefore doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I get drunk today, it doesn't matter if I get drunk tomorrow, and it doesn't matter if I succeed or fail at this job. I can just quit it if I want, because no one cares in the first place. You know what, folks, I'm here to tell you, you have value and you have opportunity. You have opportunity through the ability to have growth, personal growth in your life and personal strength in your life to either overcome your addiction, overcome your alcoholism, have a life of recovery and sobriety, and thrive in your life and not be held down by those setbacks, because you're worth it. Because if you quit, then you will never know what your full potential is. I used to, or rather I live by that mantra actually. If I quit, I will never know what my potential would be. Now, that's not to be the case with alcoholism and addiction, because I don't know, that ran my life forever, and I got tired of it running my life, and I wanted to run my life, and therefore I quit that. But I have the ability to be something greater than what I think I am. I don't have to be held back by those circumstances of the past or anything else, and I don't have to accept failure for failure alone. I can have experience through failure and be able to drive on and be able to apply those experiences in future events to make the outcome a little bit different. I think I said that already, but it's cool. I'm an alcoholic, that's what I do. You are not less than anybody else. You are not a waste of time. You are not incapable of improving your life. You are worth it. You do have value, and you have opportunity. That is food for thought. That is one sober to another, one person talking to another person. I hope you got something from this video. I hope that you've taken a chance to subscribe. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button right now and that notification bell so you don't miss a thing in the future. And guess what, folks? Boom! I'm going to see you in the next one.